What I remember most is Cheryl didn't say a word. She didn't say a word. She looked at the x-rays, and we went out and made the next appointment. The doctor put her on an Alzheimer's medication. She didn't say a word. We went out to get in the car, and I opened the door, and she sat down and looked up at me and said, "I don't want to put you through this." And we sat there and cried. But that statement, 5 years later, I figured out what she meant. She didn't want me to go through it, but she knew that I would be with her. And I decided that we didn't have a lot of money, but she was going to have anything she wanted. She never spent a lot of money on herself, clothes and what have you. But that had kind of changed. I decided that she was going to have whatever she wanted. And so we would go shopping. And one night we went in to this exclusive store that she liked. And when we went in there, I said, "Now, I want you to try something on. If you like it, you do not to look at the price. Just give it to me." Well, she did. She kept on. Finally, she said, "Enough." I said, "Okay." Well, she spent $650 that night. We liked to skate, and we actually met at the skating rink. I had known her, and I'd skated with her, and I was on the speed skating team, and so she said that impressed her. And so we skated together, and I thought she was the cutest little thing that ever was. And I held my right hand out to hold her hand while she was walking, and she took my hand. And when she touched my hand, I knew then that she was the one. Even though we were kids, I knew she was the one. But she was a little poor girl from the wrong side of the tracks, and her dad and his brothers had reputation all over town. My dad found out what her name was and knew the reputation of her family, and he didn't like it. He didn't want me dating her. Well, on our third date, I took her over to meet my parents. And we were over there maybe an hour and a half. And when we left, she was my dad's girl. We dated for a year, about a year. And I was a senior in high school, and I was offered a good job right out of high school. And I wanted to get her out of the place that her and her mama lived. It was a little shack right across the street from the refinery in Coahuila, Kansas. And so I went to work, and as soon as I had my 90-day probation, we were married. She had her 16th birthday on a Saturday, and we got married the next Saturday. We were babies. And I can see now where, you know, that was a little silly, that we loved each other, and that never changed. I took care of her the very best I could until I was just about down. And so I decided something had to be done. And it was the hardest decision I've ever made. And I had a big blizzard here, and it was so cold. And it was a couple days after that, she was upset and crying, and I was crying, and I didn't know what to do. And so I got her in the car, and we went to the hospital. And I knew she would never come home again. On December the 13th, 4:25 p.m., I was holding her hand, and she just stopped breathing. And from then on till now, which has been 4 months and 1 day, I've been in kind of a fog, and I didn't really understand it until my son-in-law sent me a book, talked about the fog that you live in. And one thing I do remember at the service, I told the guy in charge of the service, I said, before you close the casket, I want to talk to her. I knew she wasn't there, but he came in and got me, and me and my daughters went out, and I kissed her on the forehead. And told her that I loved her and that I would be with her soon. Most people try to say try to make you feel better. Well, it doesn't. Here's some that says things people, I know just how you feel. Well, they don't know how I feel. Some people say, well, it's for the best because they're suffering. Well, time heals all wounds, doesn't it? At least he didn't suffer. You're strong, you can handle it. God wanted more flowers for his garden. Keep a stiff upper lip. It's a blessing. You'll be fine. All of those things are not helpful. People don't know how you feel. It's been over 4 months. I remember things that I've done in those 4 months. A few things. But I think that's the Lord's way of taking care of you. I still have a meltdowns. And I miss her oh so much. I would give anything to hear Cheryl say that she loved me. I know she's in heaven, and I know she's healed now. I know she's well. She's not hurting anymore. She's not suffering anymore. And I am happy for that. But the pain in my heart, I don't think it'll ever go away. It's just there. I've said before, she told me when she first got sick, she wanted me to find a nice woman that would be good to me. I'm not there. And I've got good friends. They're good to me. But she was and is the love of my life. I don't think there could be anybody else. I've met people that will forever be my friends. And in fact, today I went over to the nursing home just to see the people and talk to them. And it feels so good to be hugged. And I don't remember much about the service. I remember a few people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and but other than that, and they say that's God's way of keeping you from losing your mind, I guess. And He's been very faithful to me. He's provided friends, family, and I couldn't ask for more. I will get through this. I'll be okay. I got a letter from the hospice people the other day that's one thing stood out, said it is possible to have a fulfilling, good life. And so I'm not there yet, but I'm trying, and I will get there. Always keep that message thin. Cross your breast, you all the rest.